What is going on, guys? MMA Island team, we got the fight picks, and we are back with UFC 254. And in this one, we got Liana Jojua, Maya Ruski Sistra. Check out my interview with Liana Jojua, translated from Russian. And she's going to be taking on Miranda Maverick with her UFC debut. Man, so talking about this fight, is this me going first, or are you going first? You're going first. I will pass it on to Zach.
So Liana Jojua, although she won in her last fight, I still believe is one of the worst fighters on the UFC roster. Now, that's a little harsh, I know, but getting beat up the way she did against Sarah Morris, you're not going to be a contender if you do that. Now, Miranda Maverick is actually one of the top prospects at this weight class at 115, and for good reason. She is coming in as the Invicta flyweight champion, I believe, and she has wins over UFC level talent. As we can see, she has a win over Pearl Gonzalez, and she also has a win over Deanna Bennett. Now, Miranda Maverick is very good everywhere. That's how she's kind of won a lot of her fights, is her incredible well-roundedness and her ability to not really have a weakness where anywhere the fight goes. And Liana Jojua is one of the more one-dimensional fighters that we've seen in the UFC so far. It's submission or bust pretty much for Liana Jojua, and especially armbar or bust. I was very angry when she armbarred Diana Belbita, because I thought Diana Belbita was a half-decent fighter, but then she got armbarred in the first by Jojua, and I still wasn't too happy about that. But I believe that Maverick's ground game and submission defense is better than the submission offense of Jojua, and the striking gap is going to be too far, honestly. I think Miranda's striking is so much better than Jojua's is. And if Jojua can't get that submission, she's not going to win. We see what happens when she can't get a submission. She gets tuned up on the feet. And I believe that Miranda Maverick's a better striker than Sarah Morris is, but Sarah Morris outlanded Liana Jojua by almost 2 times. Almost 2. To multiply her strike total by 2, if that wasn't anywhere clear. But yes, I think Maverick's a better striker than Morris. I think she's a better grappler than Jojua. And so this is one of my highest confidence picks on the card. I'm going with Miranda Fear the Maverick, one of the worst nicknames, but it doesn't matter because she's going to walk out of this fight with her hand raised.
All right. Well, yeah, you say it's one of your highest confidence. It's actually one of my lowest confidence picks of the night, because I'm going to be going with Liana Jojua.
I knew it.
A couple things. I know you called it, but talking about Liana Jojua here, the thing is, man, I can see the case for Miranda Maverick totally, because the thing is about the Diana Belbita fight, especially, is going into that fight. Diana Belbita absolutely blasted Liana Jojua to start off, and then went in for a takedown on a submission expert.
Yep, lowest fight IQ ever.
I say expert, but she, as we mentioned, she's got primarily armbar victories. She's got 1 heel hook on her resume. But man, talking about this, is that whole decision for Belbita to take her down. I talked to Liana Jojua, and Liana Jojua even mentioned that she was kind of in shock that she tried to take her down. Because that's where her jiu-jitsu is way better. So talking about Miranda Maverick, I think Miranda's probably going to want to keep the fight standing. Doesn't have the knockouts to show it, but she does have a pretty good striking game. The thing is with Miranda Maverick, geez, I can't say, they keep messing up that name, but Miranda Maverick kind of has that sort of mirror image matchup, as you mentioned, with Kenny and Wood, but it's different in multiple ways. It's a mirror image matchup if you look at it from the record standpoint. Obviously, records don't say all, as I love to mention, but talking about the submissions is that primarily both of these ladies win via decision or submission, and don't have very many decisions. I think this fight's probably going to go the distance. I think that it comes down to who can get the other in more of submissions. I think both of these ladies are going to want to see who can get to the ground first. Miranda Maverick probably wants her to take her to the ground. And I don't really know. I say that she wants to stay standing with her, but I do think that she probably wants to take it to the ground, just because we've seen Liana Jojua get these arm bars. And I think that the best way to get around that is to kind of implement your striking game and then catch them off guard and get in a dominant position before they can start to try to raise the guard on you, raise their legs and go for an arm bar. Man, the more I talk about this fight, the more messed up I get talking about it, because the submissions, man, it's really a matchup of who can get their submission first. If that is Miranda Maverick doesn't want to stay up standing with her, and I keep bouncing back and forth what I think she's going to do, but who knows? Only Miranda Maverick does. Probably your coaches too. But I'm going with Liana Jojua. I just think that if Miranda Maverick wants to take it to the ground, I think that's probably not a good idea, and I think Liana Jojua is going to be able to catch her in an armbar. That's really all that I see happening. I think that being so good at the armbar and seeing how quickly she's transitioned into that armbar submission against Belbita, it was totally obvious that Belbita should not have ever shot for the takedown, and she did and got submitted. So I as I mentioned, man, I just think that Miranda Maverick's going to take her to the ground. If she's not standing up, striking with her. And either way, when this goes to the ground, and I know this probably will go to the ground at some point, even if Miranda Maverick wants to stay standing, I do think Liana Jojua shoots in for a takedown if she wants to stay standing, because I know that Liana Jojua doesn't want to stay up standing with Maverick. So getting it to the ground, I think Jojua gets it to the ground, or if Maverick takes it to the ground, I see the arm bar coming up, and I see that Jojua goes for the arm bar and tries to get it, especially looking at Maverick. Coming in, her last submission comes via neck crank. Next one before that, guillotine. And then 2 fights going the distance in between those. One of them she lost. So, and the thing is I see that as she's not really, and I haven't watched too many of Maverick's fights, but I see those as that she's not typically trying to go for the takedown consistently, because she's not getting those sort of TKO victories where you're ground and pounding on them, arm bars for mount, that sort of thing. The last armbar victory comes 5 fights ago, or 4 fights ago, I guess, if you don't count this one. But yeah, man, I not the craziest amount of confidence, just because, as you mentioned, Maverick is a crazy high prospect. But I see Jojua being able to get the armbar submission. That's pretty much what I am basing this fight on. So not a fight I would touch in betting at all. Unless you're totally unless you think I'm an idiot and you think Maverick is 100% going to get the victory, go ahead, touch it, but I just think that armbar ability and how quickly she transitioned to that armbar against Belbita, I just think that she's going to be able to do it here. And the Sarah Morris victory doesn't look good on the resume at all, but I think one thing you got to bring into play here is the weight cut issues that Jojua had leading up to that fight. So as I mentioned, submission victory for Jojua is where I am going, but we want to know what you guys are thinking. So make sure you guys are letting us know in the comments who you guys got in this one. We got a disagreement, so you guys know you got to break the tie. So let us know, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the other Fight Pick videos.